It's the NFL on EA Sports. And coming up is the lockdown man himself, Jair Alexander.
It is always a celebration here in the city of New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Superdome. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled it to 15. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
And I like his honesty, because when we sat down with him, I mean, he was the first one to say, that was on me last week, a really poor performance. Way too many interceptions, didn't find the end zone throwing the ball, put his defense and his special teams in some real jeopardy, but somehow they won the game.
They won.
Yeah, what I loved about is when he told us about the defense kind of corralling him in the locker room and said, all right, well, man, we're not going to do that again this week, are we?
And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 17 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown.
In a perfect world, they'd run the ball the same way they did last week, but against the #1 rush defense in the league, they're going to have to find a different way to move the ball. Maybe they start throwing it early and come back to the run.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Now Mahomes. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the final pick of the first round in 2018 out of Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
And they got the win, so I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Well, this defense for the Panthers, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground. And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. The rushing numbers for Pollard last week: 12 carries, 53 yards.
Well, to no one's surprise, he gets an early rep right there, and they've been playing their best ball this season as they've built this winning streak. And that includes the ground game, where he's kept the offense productive and put them in position to win ball games. The question now is, can this defense that he's facing do what others have? Stop to this streak. Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 11 more on that one, and another first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep, and he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either. And it's 7-0. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and now to have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. Throwing now is Mahomes. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Mahomes. It's complete left side to Aguilar. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 39. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. On first down, Mahomes. It's caught, Smith. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the football as this is taken up past the 30. And Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
It's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. The Saints at 6-1 now through 7 weeks of the season. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. They also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Sensational he was last week, over 200 yards. And the simple quote that we saw this week was, keep him in front of us. They're going to have to do that.
And when they say that, it means tackling him after the catch. Because once he makes the catch, you may catch it in front. But if you don't tackle him, he's behind you at that point, and that's how he racks up the big yardage.
47 yards on the ground for him so far. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things,
and he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point by Bucker is on target, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. Completes it to Aguilar. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Panther football to start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Right where this set of downs started. They need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 44-yard line. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A give, Eckler running to the right. And he's got some space here. And they move this all the way down to the 9. It's a gain of 35.
Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
On 2nd and goal, Mahomes looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Like what I've seen so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Now Aldrick Roses for the field goal attempt. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. Rosas' kick is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. Offense back out there, and we shine the spotlight on the Memphis man, Tony Pollard.
He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's the option play now to the left. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. This is Brown going up the middle.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Jackson.
This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. They run straight ahead here with Pollard.
Devon Hamilton with the tackle.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 28. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Saints. DJ Chark, 28 yards. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Butker on for the PAT. And it's 21-3. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it's DJ Chark who finishes it off with a touchdown reception. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10. As opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. It's Eckler again, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Mahomes on the screen. This is Eckler. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Meanwhile, Mahomes throw complete there to Smith. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Mahomes now to throw. He's got it complete to Aguilar. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Mahomes going to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
It's showtime, baby.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now it's Mahomes again. Flushed out right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late. They're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Rosas' kick is good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Offense back out there, and we shine the spotlight on the Memphis man, Tony Pollard. Yeah, it may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing is Jackson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Jackson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. The Panther offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. That's into the hands of Eckler. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Mahomes now on 1st down. That's complete into the hands of Myers. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. 14 yards, good for a Panther 1st down. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And that is no good. And the deficit will hold at 15.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville, where you see the final score there. Dalvin Cook, well over 100 yards on the ground with a pair of touchdown runs. Next, we head north to Philly. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Deshaun Watson, sharp in the victory, as his guys get back within a game of 500. And one more to highlight, a good one on Monday Night Football between the Detroit Lions and the Baltimore Ravens. Now time for a check of the next-gen stats in the first half for Carolina. And they've had all sorts of success thus far tonight throwing the football, as they're on pace to throw for 300-plus yards if they continue the way they've been going. Meanwhile, for the Saints, we check out their numbers on the ground, as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Both teams going through their final halftime adjustments. We're about ready to get back to football. And to bring you the second half from the Superdome, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. So here are the Saints to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Play action. It's Jackson. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. And credit that sack to D'Angelo Malone. Well, Lamar Jackson, for all the talents of escaping pressure that he possesses, he was helpless to do much of anything there. He had no chance. His throw incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Jackson now. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop, because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can set.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Bunker now to add the extra point. He's got it, and the lead swells. It's 28-6. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. So already not the best to kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
From the 39, Mahomes throwing the out route incomplete. That's Palmer. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off. But a nice game there for a first down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Over the middle to Smith.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes is caught by Aguilar. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Jacoby Myers, 23. Touchdown.
And the Panthers go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
Mahomes will throw for it.
And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further.
And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide, not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
How does the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here?
Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
72 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. They'll set up a throw. And that will be incomplete.
That's a little grabby, a little hand fighting, but any means necessary on 3rd down. He was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
They'll look to throw. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he is going to have the Saints first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time. And the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. So the 4th down conversion has him inside the 40 now. 1st and 10. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
Shotgun handoff to Brown here. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let him know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
Now a man drafted and then let go by the Panthers. Harrison Butker for the field goal try. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped it to 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
On first down, Mahomes. He's got Smith here. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that will bring up second down.
4 yards. Second and 6.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Completes it to Aguilar. Now the ball comes loose. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That's good for 28 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And they've got 3 tight ends here on first and goal to add some extra mass. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front. Good blocking. Nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage. Stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling.
And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself for 5 yards out. And the Saints head on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Mahomes. Open man is Palmer. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
He had to absorb another little bump there from the defense, another incomplete pass. We've seen a lot of that tonight.
They've come after him all night long. Nothing but pressure in his face. He's trying to stand up there and make throws. It's hard enough to do when the pocket is clear. When you got all those people in front of you, almost impossible to have a good completion percentage.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On play action, they'll throw. Steps away. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the night. And the Saints have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. Extra point by Butker is on target. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole. Mahomes now on first down. Steps away to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player in the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
Open man is Myers. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down, that leads to a 2nd and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game film from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
The Saints going to call. timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
Offense was moving a little bit, out and back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Mahomes throw there complete to Myers. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 36 yards on the play.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Mahomes to throw once more. And it's caught. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Second down and goal. Mahomes. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. And, oh, it's blocked. That's a live ball scooped up by the offense. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw there taken in by Smith.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted.
Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Saints are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat.
The New Orleans offense set to take over.
as they try to finish things off in this fourth quarter, and that current 5-game win streak looking like it's going to go to 6.
And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Over the middle, hauled in by Sharp. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
That one complete. He finds Sharp. And quickly they get to the line. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
They'll look to throw again. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And we talked so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for the Saints, they moved to 7-1 on the year with the victory.
And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.